वनक्कम, मैं हैदर अली सैयद SivaN से United under Tamil Shiva.
Couldn't be more stark in the difference between us and whatever the Home Minister said. Let's start from the beginning. What did Perariyan Anna say? He said we have a two-language policy. The two-language policy is Tamil, or in your case, your home language, your mother tongue, and English, right? Only two languages. If everybody follows the two-language policy, that means people in Tamil Nadu, people in UP, people in Bihar, people in Rajasthan, people in Karnataka and Maharashtra and Punjab, if everybody follows the two-language policy, we get phenomenally good outcomes, because there's a lot of scientific evidence that education in the mother tongue is where the greatest traction happens. We want to preserve our culture. The most stable identity of our culture, the root of our culture, is our language, right? So,
Earth story rotates around Tamil language. Kal Thondri Manthondra. An inscription says, Kal Thondri Manthondra Kalathe Mun Thondri Muthakudi Thamiskudi. This means that Tamil language existed before creation of sand, mud, or earth. That means heavenly language is Tamil. Since Quran is a reminder, it confirms common ancestry. Quranic verses are confirming many Tamil traditions, which I will bring it to your notice. Conversation between God and angels. Conversation between God and demon Lucifer. Conversation between God and Adam. All these conversations are in Tamil language. That's why Tamil tradition says heavenly language is Tamil. Quran chapter 2 verse 31 says Adam taught oral language. Quran chapter 96 verse 1 to verse 5 says written form taught to son of Adam. Tamil tradition says first Siddha Siva taught Tamil language in written form, giving him information on all subjects. As per Tamil tradition, first SivaN is Siva alias Seth. SivaN means God representative on the earth, which in Arabic language means Khalifa. So, as per Tamil tradition, first Khalifa is Siva the Pandiyan. Quran chapter 2 verse 30 reminds about SivaN the Pandiyan the Khalifa. Adam in Tamil language means R denotes God. Dham refers to breath. Adam in Tamil language means God-given breath. I read Quran chapter 15 verse 29. And when I have proportioned him and breathed into him of my soul, then fall down to him in prostration. In Quran chapter 15 verse 29 one can find two Tamil words. One is Adam, which means in Tamil God, given breath. Other Tamil word in that verse is Vanakkam. Vanakkam in Tamil means I bow to the soul which is in you, soul a God's particle in one's body. Remember, the verse clearly says to demons and angels to bow to the soul which is in the body of Adam. Lucifer from demon race saw the material aspect but failed to see the spirit, God's particle, the soul Atma. Lucifer refused to bow to a man whom God created from black man. I read Quran chapter 15 verse 33. He, Lucifer, said, Never would I prostrate to a human whom you created out of clay from an altered black mud. Tamil tradition says first human black. Quran chapter 15 verse 26 confirms Tamil tradition which says first human black. I read Quran chapter 15 verse 26. And we did certainly create man out of clay from an altered black mud. As God taught by pen, giving Siva information on all subjects. Later Siva alias Seth, the third son of Adam, taught each subject to other children of Adam. Thus first colony of Adam, his children were divided by department of works. Quran chapter 49 verse 13 reminds about Shabuva Kabila, meaning department of works and tribes or Gotaram. The Khalifa of Adam colony was the third son of Adam, Seth alias Siva the SivaN the Pandiyan. Seth means appointed in Hebrew language. The Pandiyan established first Sangam at Kumarikandam. Quran chapter 6 verse 6 confirms that first Pandiyan Sangam was an advanced civilization with advanced technology which the Pandiyan established at the backwaters of Kumarikandam. Quran chapter 6 verse 6 further says that the civilizations before deluge was far more advanced in civilization and technology than the new generation which came after deluge. Quran chapter 5 verse 27 reminds about the first two sons of Adam, Cain and Abel. Finally, Quran chapter 1 verse 6 to 7 talks about two groups of people. One blessed refers to Seth alias Siva, the SivaN, the Pandiyan, and other the cursed one, the fugitive and first Antichrist Cain. Asivagam first Siddha, the straight path given to first Siddha whom God prophesied before the creation of Adam, the blessed Siva. Quran reminds about bloodline of Cain who are facing the karma of their ancestor, the bloodline of Cain who had no honor, no civilization, they were hunter-gatherer cannibal society. I read Quran chapter 1 verse 6 to 7. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor, not of those who have evoked your anger or of those who are astray. Note, the estrayed one are from bloodline of Abraham. As the Pandiyan colonies were in their phase of greater Kalyugam, so Abraham tested and appointed by God to lift the banner of truth. See Quran chapter 2 verse 124. I quote, "And when Abraham was tried by his Lord with commands and he fulfilled them, Allah said, 'Indeed, I will make you a leader for the people.' Abraham said, 'And of my descendants?' Allah said, 'My covenant does not include the wrongdoers.'" Quran chapter 3 verse 33 gives a direction in going into history. Main event happened in life of Adam, Noah and family of Abraham and family of Imran. Quran is reminding, I have mentioned some of the points here that happened in the lifetime of Black Adam speaking Tamil language. Quran chapter 3 verse 34 talks about bloodline of Seth alias Siva and among family of Abraham and family of Imran, some of them descendant of Seth alias Siva, the SivaN, the Pandiyan. Quran reminds about Noah history. Unlike Bible which has removed history of the Pandiyans and history of Cain. Quran chapter 11 verse 48 reminds about the Pandiyan and their phase of greater Kalyugam which Sri Krishna prophesied after Mahabharat war. I quote Quran chapter 11 verse 48. It was said, O Noah, disembark in security from us and blessings upon you and upon nations, descending from those with you. But other nations, referring to the Pandiyan, we will grant enjoyment. Then there will touch them from us a painful punishment, referring to greater Kalyugam. That was a brief history of the Pandiyans from Quran. Quran reminds about straight path called Asivagam given by God to first Siddhar Siva alias Seth the SivaN, the Khalifa the Pandiyan. In Tamil tradition, the Pandiyan colonies have two ages: one Satyugam, the age of good administration. Second is Kalyugam, which means age of bad administration. Greater Kalyugam means age of bad administration for a long period of time. Bible Daniel chapter 7 talks about four beastly regime who would prolong the greater Kalyugam which Sri Krishna prophesied until the coming of Son of Man. Son of Man mentioned in Daniel chapter 7 refers to the last Pandiyan who would come during the age of the fourth and final beastly regime, the devil from Najad, and would end greater Kalyugam. He would be given the title of the Kalki, meaning one who ended greater Kalyugam. Tamil language once spoken by whole mankind, now that language is reduced to the place of origin, that is Tamil Nadu. Remember, cradle of civilization is Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka, Kumarikandam. Enemies of Tamil language are an enemy to God. Say no to three-language formula proposed by the center.
Vanakkam. Thank you.